You don't have the. You don't have the answers, DJ.
Do you have the answer?
You don't have the answer.
Tony, do you have the
You
answer?
don't have the answers.
You don't
DJ.
have the answer either.
You don't have the answer.
Woo! Big up, everybody. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to the 106th episode of the American Idiot Show. Dal, is there anything going on this weekend? Any big news, man? Anything going on?
Zooby doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Oh, Zooby doo, I see you. We're ready to beat Newcastle. Sorry, Mom, I just had to say that. Hey, big up everyone in the chat. Thanks for being here. Happy 4th of July weekend to everybody. Camera went really quick. Weekend's about over. Better than that. What's up, TJ? I heard we're getting a couple players in.
What?
I heard we're getting a couple players in.
Yeah, I heard we're getting a couple of players in too. There's a certain Swedish striker that we have been talking about for a year or 2 years now, that it seems to be confirmed that personal terms have been agreed by Fabrizio Romano that Victor GYOKERES will be an Arsenal player next season. Woo! As our buddy Tony would say, po. We are actually moving like a serious club. I cannot believe we are having this conversation right now. We got Zubamendi through the door. We got certain other players out the door that needed to go. Man, there's been a lot of Arsenal news we can kind of get into, but like we're linked with GYOKERES. The links to Rodrigo are steady right now. Bro, I'm telling you, if we get GYOKERES and Rodrigo, it's game over. It's game over. I'm willing to say that we will be champions if we get those over.
Ooh, that's a stretch there,
Mr. We will be champs if we get GYOKERES across the line. You can go ahead and clip me up right now. Big up everybody that's inside. Make sure you're smashing the likes. And we got the legend inside. We got Mama Flossie. She's too busy. She's busy drinking out of that Carabao cup. She doesn't care about any of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom. Big up AFC always as well. This guy's hilarious. This guy is hilarious. Only took 1,000 days to replace Aubameyang.
That's it.
That's it. That's all. Are you sure?
So true,
dude. It's been a long 1,000 days, bro. Big up Maguna Matata. Big up Warrior J. No, don't tell Prime. Don't tell Prime anything. Don't tell Prime anything. Actually, you know what? I said that on the last show I did on Sarcasm City, so that shouldn't be too big of a stretch. Yeah, I think we win. I think we win the league if we get those guys over the line. And all those people that are calling him a Swedish Hoyland, get ready to be disappointed. This guy is a baller, man. He's shown that he can do it in the Champions League. The Portuguese league is, come on, dude, 97 goals in 2 years. What?
I know,
dude.
And then people say, well, there's not that Portuguese, never cut it. Well, look at Bernardo Silva, look at Ruben Diaz. People have made the comparison of like Darwin Núñez. Come on, he's from a complete different country and he played for a different club, right? I mean, you just can't compare the two. And we know GYOKERES is, and what the thing is, TJ, that warms my heart is he wanted Arsenal all along, and that just makes this transfer that much sweeter, because this is really what we want: is players that really want to join the club. We'll see what Arteta does, right? Because I'm not so sure that GYOKERES is just going to hit the ground running. I'm hoping so. I think we're all hoping so. But I think there's, once we sign him, once GYOKERES gets introduced to this system, whichever it's going to be now, I'm really curious if we're going to play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 and have GYOKERES sort of isolated up top. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but just have him continuously press with maybe Odegaard behind him and Saka and let's say Martinelli right now, right? Kind of shrink in and compact a little more and don't stay as wide, and they can get the ball right up to GYOKERES. It's going to be a goal, bro, almost every time. And that's the thing. He's not going to miss like Havertz, right? He's not going to just be running around like Jesus and falling down and then blaming the ref every time. I think he's going to introduce a style of play that's going to maybe open some ideas up for Arteta. Again, I don't want this manager here, right?
Yeah.
I'm still Arteta outside of the fence. until we lift a trophy, I'm going to be on the Arteta out. But this GYOKERES deal is huge. And let's not underestimate the Zubamendi too. Shout out Zubamendi signing the thing today or yesterday, today. Yesterday, I don't know if it's like I don't know if I'm 8 hours off or something.
You got pen to paper, baby. So excited.
Pen to paper is all that matters, right? So I think, and that is a real target that Arteta wanted. So maybe there's something we can unlock with Zubamendi or Arteta can unlock. I know I'm probably talking a little gibberish, Arteta to unlock anything, right? He couldn't unlock his own bicycle lock or tie his own shoe at times.
Some of his players have been,
I don't want these players to be victims. Sorry about that. I just land real quick. I don't want these new players to be victim of the Arteta system that really hasn't worked in the last 5 to 6 years. And I think I'm going to get a lot of agreement in that. So I hope Arteta is open to changing up the play more with the additions that he's getting. Even though we know GYOKERES is a BERTA signing, and we see BERTA sitting at the desk with Zubamendi. So I'm kind of wondering again, is Arteta more looking at using our scouts for local UK talent, and maybe BERTA is more international, right? Which I have no problem with that, because I've said it a million times. Arteta doesn't know the fucking European market, right? And either did Edu at times, right? I mean, Fabio Vieira, Lukonga, I mean, those names are in the past now, and hopefully we're moving on from them as well. But the thing is, this is huge. This is a huge day for the club. We're actually getting signings that we're after. And again, I don't want to, rain on Zubamendi's parade, but I think he's going to be a very good addition to the club. He's better than Jorginho, which we know right away. Is he better than Partey? Time will tell. But yeah, let's just celebrate the moment and see if GYOKERES signs the thing and doesn't get played at left wing back.
Fabrizio Romano. Big up TK. Fabrizio Romano. Victor GYOKERES has accepted to give up $2 million from his salary in order to facilitate, if I could read, negotiations between Arsenal and Sporting. Sporting insists on a higher fee compared to Arsenal proposal, and GYOKERES tries his best, giving up money trying to make it happen. This is a player that we want. This is a player that I'm getting excited about. This is a player that didn't put a release clause into his personal agreements with Arsenal. Unlike a certain Benjamin Sesko. Go fuck yourself.
Come on. Yeah, exactly.
We are not a stepping stone club. We need to stop being treated like that as well.
Right.
Benjamin Sesko can
get out of that ourselves.
Yep. Bring in this player now. Get it done.
Yeah.
So we can start concentrating on winning the title. It'll be done this week. I mean, and thankfully the Madueke rumors, I think, have calmed down a little bit. Yesterday was
that's
crazy.
Not what I read today. I read that they're still moving forward with it. Yeah, dude, and my worry is that we're going to get him. Man. I think here's what my gut's telling me, Rod. My gut's telling me for the left winger chase, I think Rodrigo is going to go to Saudi, and I think we may end up with Madueke. That's what I think. We're not the only ones in for Rodrigo.
Dude, I want Eze really bad.
Me too, and I think those links.
I'd rather have Eze than Madueke.
Me too. All day, all day long,
all day.
100%. But we need to keep Nwaneri too, and that's the thing. We get rid of Madueke, we're going to get rid of. We get Madueke, we're going to get rid of Nwaneri because they want him. In fact, the Blues had the balls to actually ask for Max Dowman as well.
They are insane if they think we are going to get rid of Dowman, number one. And then number two, like that, if I'm being honest with you, like no cap, I'm really, really nervous about the Nwaneri conversation because Nwaneri does not get the minutes that I believe he deserves. Right. Whereas at Chelsea, he might because
I'm not so sure about that either.
Dude, I think he gets.
You've got a small country over there,
bro. You have questions on the wings over there in a big way. Whereas Saka is going to be bored in like a tick there for the next 5 years minimum. Right. And then on the left side, I don't know, man. I think on the left side, he would never play him over there, and he'll definitely never play him in the 10 versus Odegaard.
I'm only for Madueke if Trossard goes because Madueke isn't good enough to necessarily bench even Martinelli. I know Martinelli hasn't had the couple seasons he's had, but is Madueke that much better than Martinelli? I don't think so. But if you get rid of Trossard, then you at least have, Martinelli who's bled in and Madueke who's new but can do, winger things. But it's just overall, it's like, again, we're dropping from Rodrigo to Eze to Madueke. We keep dropping and dropping and dropping. And this is why I think Rodrigo is really kind of, unfortunately, out of the scope right now. But if we pull off Rodrigo, then I would say this is one of the best transfer windows I've seen since Arsenal. Maybe Ozil was one of the last top ones, maybe. And that was 2013? Somewhere in there. 2012 maybe. When was Ozil joined Arsenal?
I thought Ozil was 13, but then again, I've taken several shots to the head since then.
Hey, big up, Manny.
Hey, big up, Manny. Yeah. Thank you for that for the happy 4th of July wishes, everybody. We had I had too much fun on 4th of July. It was so funny. Not to take away from the football conversation, but it was so funny. Like I was out until 1 a.m. talking to my neighbor who's a Liverpool fan. So we were just hammered talking ball until 1:30, and then I wake up at 11:30 the next day, and Hooks is hitting me up, being like, "Are we gonna go grab beers?" I'm like, "Oh." Hey man. So I linked up with halftime Hooks, and we had several patio beers and talked about the state of Arsenal. And I think we talked about how much we both wanted GYOKERES so bad. I think somebody heard us. And we are actually getting delivered. I'm telling you, it's divine. And to quote our boy Tony, the stars are aligning.
Stars are aligning. We're getting justice
are aligning for justice for Arsenal. Shout out Tony Claude. He'll be back in June. No, he'll be back at the end of July. That's what he told me.
Nigeria.
But big up Aguna Matata, big up everybody inside. Make sure you're smashing the likes. And of course, I'm just gonna mention this real quick. Rest in peace to Diogo Jota. Absolutely awful tragedy, and his brother, obviously. It's I get choked up even talking about it. It's awful. I didn't
it was pretty incredible.
I mean, and I didn't post about it. No, I don't think I need to be posting or talking about it particularly. I just feel so bad for his wife and his kids and their entire family. So thoughts.
Thoughts out to Jota. I think your audio went away, TJ. You're muted. No. TJ broke his toy. Big up, everyone. Big question from Manny.
Am I back?
Yeah? Okay, yeah, you're back now.
Oh, I don't know why I did. I break my toy, I guess. Big question. Even if the U.S. team were to win the Gold Cup, would you both be potching her out? Manny, you know the answer to this. I fear that with Tottenham, it's win a trophy, then get sacked. Bro, I'm potch out forever. I stand this guy. I'm potch out. And look, and people were asking me too, by the way, are you going to do Gold Cup watch-alongs? I'm like, yeah, so we can go watch our C team go out there and beat Trinidad and Tobago, or any of the or any of the small island nations that we have to beat in this federation. Like, bro, we lost 4-0 to Switzerland, and you're supposed to tell me in Nashville a month ago, and you're supposed to tell me we're going to compete at the World Cup? Don't piss on my head and call it rain, bro.
Manny's got faith.
Dude, no.
It's win.
But that being said, I will be fuming if we lose. If we lose tonight, I'm gonna lose it. There'll be another. Yeah, it's Mexico. There'll be another potch out crying session if we fucking lose this match. I don't want to do it. I can't do it. Yeah, Switzerland are a decent team though. Yeah, not decent enough to beat us 4-0 at home.
I don't know about that.
Dude, well, 4-0 in the U.S.
DJ, the U.S. is terrible.
On.
It's
no,
awful.
We're not
awful
terrible.
Football.
We're not.
It's terrible.
We can.
Terrible. It's hard. I can't even watch it. How Manny can sit through one match is beyond me. He must have some popcorn and just chilling and be like, I'm gonna watch a comedy show, and then puts it on American football. It's just I don't know how you get so into it, TJ. I just don't understand it. But hey, you're a fan.
I
love
just
it.
think that I'm a bit in international
Jaka probably scored a
competition.
hat trick.
Yeah.
With some Jaka boom.
Anything having to do with America in sport, you can say what you want about our politics and all this garbage, but I'm a big fan. I'm always a fan.
Me too. I like the
cheering on
Olympics.
country.
I like the Winter Olympics. I like the Summer Olympics. I like all that as for American sports. And of course, I love the NFL as well. I like the NBA, but not really a baseball fan. But still Arsenal every day. But no, the thing is with these signings, so we get back to Arsenal. Is that at least we're getting the signing players that want to be here. I know Zubimendi, he turned down Liverpool. He did turn down Liverpool. So that at least says something. I'm really curious what formation he's going to play because I do rate a Zubimendi Rice in a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah. So now that it's across the line, like it's over the line. Let's be real. Where does Kai Havertz fit into all of this?
That depends. If he plays in a 4-3-3, I think Kai goes on the left, Rice as the 6, and Odegaard on the right. I think it really depends on the formation. I don't see how Kai Havertz fits into a 4-2-3-1, and that's why I don't think he's going to play that. I still think he's going to shoehorn in Kai Havertz. And Kai Havertz come off the bench after he's hit the gym so much and coming back from a 5-6 month injury, and he's been working hard in the gym, and he has 240 bags a week, bro, sitting on the bench. I just don't know how that's going to work out. I really don't. How's Moreno going to fit in?
Dude, okay. So here's my starting 11. Okay, we will bring it. And I agree with TK here. This is perfect. This is a perfect statement as well. He says this signing won't mean anything if we don't buy Eze or Rodrigo. You're correct. You are 100% correct. I think so, dude. The left wing has been a problem for us.
Fair
I
enough.
agree with.
I'll go 55-45 in agreement.
Well, why?
Why? Because I still. As much as you guys are going to want to slap me in the face for this, I still think Martinelli has something to offer. I really do.
I'm not saying he doesn't have anything to offer.
I don't. If you look at, we've talked about this before. Odegaard plays the ball to the right. There's heat maps over the last 2 seasons that shows him going consistently to Saka's side, and we know that. We see this. We don't need a heat map to tell us this, right? Anyone that watches this club day in and day out knows that he goes to the right. And so what that does is that just leaves Martinelli without time on the ball. But when he gets the ball, the head's down, right? We see all the negatives. But he scored some important goals for us this season. Not the quantity that we wanted, but the qualities of goals that he scored were extremely important today. He almost scored against Madrid, if you go back and watch the highlights. I just think that giving up on this kid, let's remember, he's only, I think, 23 or 24. Let's see how old Martinelli is.
I'm looking at him.
And he's rated, I think, around 80 million. I think there was an offer. Right, 24. Right? So there's still something there. I just don't think giving up on him right now is the thing to do. Is he the one that's going to bring us a title? No. That is Rodrigo. And I think even more so than Eze, because I think with Eze, Arteta is going to try to fit him in different places where Rodrigo, we know is a left winger. Yeah, right. Okay, 85 mil. Right. If that goes to Rodrigo, PKA, yes. But the thing is the Martinelli links are rare. Bayern Munich. We don't hear about that anymore. Right?
Nope.
That was 2-3 weeks ago. And the news moves fast. 85 mil, right. That'll get us a Rodrigo. Right? But what I'm saying is if Rodrigo, like it was in the chat, he's got other clubs, dude. PSG are looking at, which is kind of weird because they have, KK up there, who's like, to me, it's Rodrigo and him as the best wingers in the world.
I agree.
Right?
Kvaratskhelia.
So maybe they're going to put Kvaratskhelia somewhere else or put, who's playing up front for them? Dembele, maybe Dembele goes to the wing. Who knows what PSG wants? But the TK's right. There as links there. And I agree with AJ, Odegaard for Eze, but we know that's not going to happen, right? We just know that's just not going to happen. So as much as I want that too, AJ, we all want that. It's just not going to happen. So if we don't get Rodrigo, I still think it's a very good window with getting Zubimendi, GYOKERES, and maybe this Mascara guy, because I do think we need another center back. I don't think we need a left or right back. I think we need another center back.
Yeah. No, I agree. I was hoping we would get Hato, who could be kind of a hybrid left back, center back.
Me too. He was number one on my list, but I those may not be done links yet.
I hope not. I hope not. Hato definitely calm down, but I'm telling you right now, like if we can get somebody solid back there to play some games for MLS or for Gabriel if needed, then bring it in. I know I think it's a secondary thing right now. Compared to everything else we have going on, I think we have to concentrate on our front line and we have to concentrate on the left. I think if we bring in somebody that's a little bit more dynamic than Martinelli, don't get me wrong, he's a speed demon on the left. He torches people, but he does, like we said on this show for the last year, he doesn't pick up his head. He doesn't know how to hold up play and to pick a pass. Like he doesn't do that very often. He'll run to the line. And try to, he's frustrating to watch. I mean, and he don't get me wrong. We will always thank him for what he did in 22-23. We will always know like he was an absolute baller that season, and we'll thank him for what he did that season. But in order for us to push to the next level, I'm telling you, it has to be a Rodrigo. It has to be an Eze. It has to be somebody that will create space for our midfielders and for Victor GYOKERES. Now, this is why I get nervous and why I'm really pushing on the left wing side is we need space for Odegaard and Saka. I think if we get more dynamic players, more dangerous players on the left, it would give space to Odegaard. And what have you said for the last 3 years? If Odegaard has space, he'll cook. If Saka has space and he's not getting double teamed all the time, he'll cook. I think that this unlocks other elements of the team as well. And that's what
I've seen in the chat as well.
Yeah. Like, please, for the love of God, give me somebody else. Our midfield is solid. We got Zubimendi. Zubimendi's in. We got, who else is on our mid? We got Odegaard, freaking Declan Rice. Are we bringing? I don't know if we're linked to any other midfielders. Are we?
Well, we got Norgard.
That's it, right?
Norgard.
Well, is the Norgard chat? Is the Norgard thing really going to happen?
I thought he was kind of a done deal for 11 mil. He's already looking to do a medical. He's probably on vacation. Big up DJB, legend in the building.
Big up DJB and the legend. Yeah, big up DJB.
Subscribe.
We need to get DJB on the show sometime. This guy's a ledge.
Send the link.
Yeah.
No, and what he's saying is, we still need signings, and I don't. Right, I've said before that I think GYOKERES isn't enough. Right, Zubimendi's not enough. It's got to be Eze or Rodrigo, because I'm sick of, we start at Rodrigo, then we go down essentially to Eze, right, when you price, and then we go down again when
to MADUEKE.
Yeah, it's like make up our fucking minds, bro. And Eze is ready for the deal. I just don't think Rodrigo's ready. I think that he will look at clubs that are interested. I think there is Saudi links that he'll be looking at. Again, the Saudis' money, generational money. And if he can go there for 2 or 3 years and then be like, well, maybe I will come to the Prem, I get it. And again, it's, what formation are we going to use with these new signings? And I think that depends a lot about where he plays. Where's he going to play Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Moreno, Norgard? How is this all going to fit? You can't have a 16-man, outfield there.
Come on. We'll play the 4-4. We'll play the 4-4-3. We'll play the 4-4-3.
Yeah, of course we will.
Shout out Blue
which is not my favorite formation, I must confess. But it's just like, again, if we don't have the players, the complement on the left side. I agree with DJB saying and AJ and TK that it just the GYOKERES is great, but there will still be a missing piece. There will still be a missing piece, and I don't think we even if we make some big signings and not get the left winger, maybe we go into January. But you guys know that we're not going to spend $80 million in January.
Yeah.
Why
on earth are we getting NordVPN when Paul Pogba was available for free? We do not want Paul Pogba anywhere near this team.
NordVPN.
Sorry. Like maybe Paul Pogba 10 years ago. I would like it, but nah, no way.
Yeah,
we don't want we want big up Pogba. He was one of the best players in the world
for about
8 years ago.
Yeah, 6 months. No, but AJ's right. I mean, it's kind of like you kind of like, what's the real comparison? Well, Pogba has, like extreme experience in top teams, right? Norgard comes, Brentford, and what's that club in Sweden, Molde or something, or some club in Denmark? I mean, it just that signing doesn't make sense. What could Norgard do that Moreno can't? And please don't answer that. Don't answer that. I'm gonna give a list of answers, just like, Dow, you're a fucking idiot. American idiots, of course, but it's one of those signings again. Like we talked about this last week. It's one of those signings just to kind of coddle the fans that, oh, look, guys, we're making moves. We got Kepa and Norgard, and now finally the floodgates are open in July 6th. So I just agree a lot that if we don't enhance the left side, some of this isn't going to matter. But I also think that maybe GYOKERES improves Martinelli. Maybe Zubamendi improves Martinelli. Right? We really just don't know.
Yeah, and why are we getting Nord? I bring in the other Timber twin. I agree. Bring in Quentin Timber. Yeah, bring him in. I'll get both of their kits. Bring them in. No, but what did there was a comment here that I wanted to guys that Marino, Rice, Norgard. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Marino, Rice, Norgard is going to hit different, dude.
How?
Like realistically, I don't see. I think that there's going to be more rotation this season. I think even GYOKERES, if he has a small fall off, he'll probably see some bench. Like this guy needs to hit, and he needs to hit hard. Otherwise, this manager, he will do anything and everything that he can to shoehorn Kai Havertz in. That's the one thing that scares me.
Yep.
It still scares me. And there are some qualities. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but and he's serious. Don't get me wrong. But the amount of capital that Havertz has in Arteta's head has to be studied. Like, this guy couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat in some games last season, and he still started. Like, this is why I can't trust this manager. And people are going to say, right. TJ, you're flip-flopping. Are you Arteta in now that you're happy about all these signings? Bro, I'm BERTA in. BERTA is cooking here. This was a BERTA signing from the beginning. Zubamendi was an Arteta signing. I will say that. Sure. And we needed a Zubamendi type player in the midfield to make up for some of the players that have left the club. Right. But this GYOKERES signing, man, it just does so much. And what people are not talking about, like, we are going to look so much better on the offensive side of the ball next season. Yeah. We're going to look so much better. We're going to have a striker that doesn't get caught offside all the time. We're going to have a striker that can actually go in. Yeah, he will actually take on his man. He'll run the channels. He'll finish goals he'll finish high XG goal opportunities. Like this, Havertz just wasn't that guy. Havertz is a midfielder. Let's be real. Marino looked better than him at certain points last season in the 9. Right. Like, so if Marino is cooking in the 9, what do you think was going to happen with an actual striker, man? Like, I'm gassed, and people are like, TJ, you're being top gooner. That's fine. No, but when the club makes this type of move, you have to get behind it. I don't care if you're in Arteta out. It means we are going. We are going somewhere.
It makes our rivals definitely look up a little bit more. Like, oh shit, we need to rearrange. The more I think about it, like, we do need an Eze in. if we get Rodrigo in, this would be again one of the best transfer windows we've had in years, even with Eze. But I'm curious. I'm really curious though. Like you bring up the thing with Kai Havertz, you start thinking again formations now 4-4-1-1 with Havertz behind Gyökeres and I don't know, Eze on the left, Rice, Odegaard, and Saka the midfield four. That's really good.
I just don't think.
I mean, Kai Havertz, I think, is a decent player behind a striker. Like we've seen him play well before, maybe not at Chelsea, but we've heard about him playing well at Leverkusen as a central attacking mid. And then when we bought him, I thought he was going to come off the bench for Odegaard in the 75th, 80th minute because we know Odegaard can't run 90 minutes. I thought, oh, okay, that maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something there. And it turned out to be a complete shit show with him up front, except for the beginning of the 2024, calendar year when we were putting teams to the sword and scoring goals in 30 goals and conceding 4 or 5. I mean, we were spanking teams, but we still didn't win shit off of that, bro.
Nope.
It's just so I'm really concerned now that he's going to have all these choices, but he's not going to know how to use all these choices. Because if we add Norgard now with Zubimendi, we've got a large midfield. But I guess if Thomas Partey's being sent to prison, I guess someone's got to be put in for Partey if Zubimendi's in for Coutinho.
Yeah,
so maybe
that individual no longer exists in my mind.
Partey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's really rough. That's really rough. And Acers, big up Acers. I agree, dude. This scares me too. Acers hit the nail on the head. Yeah. What is keeping him from playing the donkey on the left?
Nothing.
Not much. No. Oh, look who's here!
Tony Claude in the building.
Big up Tony, my guy.
The stars have aligned.
The stars have aligned, Tony. Tony, we're bringing in GYOKERES. We got to have this conversation, my friend. We got to have this conversation. God. Big up Tony. I'll see you at the end of. He's getting goosebumps.
Party's locked up like Akon. Jeez. Yeah. Goosebumps dude, already. Justice for our club, Tony.
Justice. We need justice. Not justice for Kai, justice to our club. Just justice to our club, please.
So, yeah, I don't want to hype up this deal too much, but it really is good. It really is good. We actually have a striker that can actually play the position, But if I start seeing Zubimendi at right back, I'm going to have a problem. Norgard at right back, we're going to have a problem. It's just.
AJ, send it again. AJ, send it again. Sorry, keep going.
There was a question up there, I think.
There was a question, and I just missed it because I was too busy yelling at Tony.
So we've got is Gabriel back from injury? Do we know?
He'll be back. He'll be back by the beginning of the season. I don't know if he's going to be back for. I don't know if he's going to be back for the preseason.
When does that start? July 22nd.
July 23rd, I believe.
The 23rd. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We play like AC Milan in Singapore or something like that.
Spurs in Singapore too.
Yep. Oh, Tottenham Hotspur.
I was hoping to make a Emirates Cup game while I'm over there next month, but it's not going to work out. We're going to play Athletic Club and somebody else. I can't think of who it is.
Yeah, I was actually looking. I was actually looking that up. The only thing that they have on the schedule on Google is Arsenal and Milan, Arsenal, Newcastle, and Tottenham. No, we're playing Villarreal. Is who's over there on the 6th for the Emirates Club Cup. Ugh. And then we got Man United on August 17th.
Right, which is the day I leave.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I would have had to take the train up to Manchester to get up for that game. I don't even know if I get tickets for that, especially 4 of them. But no, I'll be gone that day. So the opening game, if we pound them 4-0, bro, and it's going to be on. It's going to be on because they have made no moves. What is Cunha going to do at Man United? What is Cunha going to do at Man United? And don't come into this chat and tell me that Cunha is this top player that we missed out on. I don't want to hear that bullshit. We didn't get Cunha for a reason.
No, I agree with that. TJ Dow, do you think Gabriel Jesus will give the 9 shirt to Victor GYOKERES? I don't think GYOKERES. I don't think Gyökeres is going to ask for it. To be honest, I think
I don't know how that works. I guess don't the managers just say, "Here, you're number 9," and that's
well, no, you could say, well,
you have to ask
don't
them
know.
for their shirt?
I don't know.
Either.
I don't think that really matters. Like,
honestly, I don't know.
It's an interesting question, but we don't know what's going on with Gabriel Jesus. We don't even know if he's going to be part of the squad next season.
He's going to Napoli.
Yeah. Well, him and his knees are staying in North London. He donated those. I'll tell you that.
A paycheck. He's getting a paycheck. We know that.
Bro. It's just like, dude, what could have been with Gabriel Jesus is going to be a question for a while.
So if Gabriel Jesus stays fit, which we know he's not, but let's just say for the sake of argument, he stays fit all this season, Arteta's going to have a real striking issue because he wants to get Havertz up there too. No. AJ wanted Cunha Arsenal top player.
I think top player is a little over the top.
We did better, AJ. You got to admit, bro, we did better though.
That being said, when we were linked to Cunha toward in April, March timeframe, I was like, yeah, or wasn't even back in January. Yeah, either way, when we were linked at the end of the season, I was taking him because I was so pissed off at Odegaard.
I was thinking it was because I wanted to fucking score goals. And I think the United move, I mean, fantastic for them. I just don't think he's gonna have much of an impact on that squad. I don't see it, but I'll have to watch more of United, I guess. I think they're a shambles. I think them and Spurs are a shambles. Their transfer market has been absolute dog shit so far.
Tottenham are bringing in Kudus.
Not for sure.
So the links are there. Like the West Ham fans are acting like he's already gone. Yeah, they are. But other than that, they've signed just a couple of kids.
Right.
Like they were still linked to up until a few weeks ago. They were still thinking about bringing Timo Werner back. I mean, these guys are not serious. These guys aren't serious, dude. And people give me shit about this being like, when I said I win either way if they win the Europa League, because we get to watch them just get absolutely destroyed, having to play in an actual European competition and not a third-rate one. Like watching them in the Champions League and balancing a Premier League with Thomas Frank is going to be very, very interesting. Now, do I think they do better this season with Thomas Frank? Yes, I think they finished 10th.
Yeah.
And then everybody's gonna be crying because they got eliminated from the Champions League in the round of 32 or whatever it was. Like I'm here for the downfall, man. It's gonna be way too many games for that squad. It's gonna be way too many games. Like you're not gonna. There's no fountain of youth that's gonna bring back prime Heung-min Son. Okay, you have garbage players over there except for Van de Ven. Like Ramiro's leaving. Come on.
Ramiro's leaving. Yeah, where's he going?
Dude, Ramiro wants to go to Spain. I think he actually was wanting to go to Villarreal. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Villarreal? I thought it was Atletico Madrid or something.
No, I don't know. I thought he was going. He's going somewhere in Spain.
Wow.
Dude, he doesn't want to be there anymore. Like, who can blame him?
The Leicester days are way over. I mean, seriously, he was not that good at their club. He scored. I mean, he was good for what 2 months?
Yeah.
When they went on that run in the beginning of the season before last. Yeah. Well, enough about them. I see your guys' comments in here about Cunha on the left, similar to Eze. Dude,
Cunha played in the 9 and the 10. Like that's why. Like I would have wanted to see Cunha behind the striker. Sorry, go ahead.
I would. No. I don't know. I don't know if I rate him over Martinelli. I see this similar player. But I do like him better than Trossard for sure.
I'm not a big.
I think Trossard has to go at this point. We might as well get 15 million for Trossard. You'd think maybe 20.
I would say 20.
Send him to Saudi, or
he's linked. Isn't he linked with? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't he linked with Fenerbahce? Correct me if I'm wrong. TK, if you're still in the chat, let me know. I thought I read that today, but then again, it's been a long weekend. He has more composure than Martinelli in front of goal. He doesn't have the pace, though. That was what I was going to say, is that he has to play. I think he has to play centrally, but just because what Arteta needs, he needs tech and he needs speed on the wings. Cunha doesn't have speed, but he could play. He could have played in the 9 last season for us. Like, I wanted him in the January transfer window. He could have played in the 9 for us. He could have come in for Odegaard. But yeah. Is this a safe space for you, Sunshine? Absolutely. Oh my days. Gyökeres FC. Enjoy it. Enjoy watching Man United next season. I'm going to enjoy it as well. Oh, sunshine, sunshine, sunshine.
Yeah, like AJ's comment, I agree with TJ. I would have taken him in January because we were desperate. But yeah, I don't know. He's like AJ. Yeah, respectfully disagree. I just think there's better out there. I'm just not so. I don't know. I'm just not sold on Cunha. I'd have to watch him, I guess, a little bit more. I didn't really watch him at Wolves.
He had a good spell last season, and everybody was bigging him up.
Yeah, he did.
And I mean, obviously, I wanted him, but it would be interesting to see what he did with like a serious club.
Did you want him really, or did you want him out of desperation?
55 desperation, 45 I wanted him.
There you go. Those are good odds. Those are good odds.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. There was a lot of cope happening last season. I couldn't believe what I was watching. 14 fucking draws, bro. 14.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's insane. God, that's insane. I'd take Cunha over Madueke, though. I'll just put that out there. Finish that off.
Dude, I do not want this football club to go anywhere near Chelsea rejects. We are addicted to Chelsea rejects, and we need to hone ourselves off of it. We are a sick club. Stop going after Chelsea rejects. Stop.
Right.
Please. The banter is too much for me. I can't do it. I can't do it again next season.
What is going on with United's talent recruitment? Dear Lord.
You mean what do you mean? You don't rate rate Dominic Calvert-Lewin in 2025?
No. He's right. He's right up there with Darwin Núñez, basically.
Sky, what do you think of the Calvert-Lewin links? Are you for it? I'm just gonna make fun of Sunshine the rest of the episode. That's all I'm gonna do. And I'm warming up for Flawless too, because these guys, the amount of shit they were talking, they were thinking that what's his face? Why am I blanking on his name? Amorim. They were thinking that Amorim was going to be the key to unlock Gyökeres. Gyökeres wants nothing to do with them.
Nope.
Why go backwards?
Well, he wants Champions League football.
Yeah,
that's a big part of it. And you can just look at the table and say, "Oh, you finished. What did they finish? 14th, 15th, 16th?
What, United?
Yeah, 16th. Right in front of Tottenham.
United finished 16th.
Right, and Tottenham was 17th. Right.
Yep. Dude, this is why I'm so frustrated. Like, this is why English football pisses me off. They're never gonna relegate one of these big clubs because the teams coming up from the championship are so shit. So
we saved them essentially because we beat Ipswich 4-0.
Yeah, I know, but we weren't gonna lose to Ipswich.
No, the thing is like with this signing, it at least gives us a target up front. And that's part, I think, why a reason why Odegaard was always going to Saka so much is because we had no one centrally that could really make those runs for him to get a nice curved pass in. We know he likes to bink him over the top a little bit.
Damn, Tony.
Also, it is a disgrace. With Odegaard dinking those balls over the front line, at least we'll have someone there that can at least get it on their chest, get it on the floor, and put it in the net. Havertz maybe with his head, Sesko definitely with his head, right? But says again that gets found out. We know that gets found out, just like our set pieces did with Gabriel, right? Those dried up in December.
Yeah,
so this Gyökeres can head the ball and Sesko can. And these tit for tats that we went through over the last 3 months was such bullshit. You know,
The ball-
Goikarez can head a ball, bro. But yeah, is he 6'5"? No. But he's a strong beast at what, 6'1", 6 foot?
I'm not here to watch volleyball. Like this is the
Right.
thing, is like I don't understand why people are talking about height so much. This isn't the fucking NBA. This is football. Can he strike a ball with his left and right foot and put it in the net? Yes. Okay, then he's already better than Kai Havertz. Unless Kai Havertz is playing against fucking Bolton, you're not going to see a quality goal out of him that comes off of his foot. It's going in off of his head or off of his chest or something ridiculous like that.
Ass cheek or something.
Yeah, like this guy.
Look at the one who missed against Chelsea, right across the box. He missed it, and Trossard thought he had it, or Trossard would have scored. I mean, I'll never forget that. How you can go back and watch countless games, especially the 14 games that we drew, of consistently balls in areas that a striker would just feast over. You know what I mean?
The Newcastle miss.
The Newcastle miss.
The United miss. Sorry, let's not get into that.
There's a list. Keep going. Keep going. I don't have to land anywhere. The thing is that we now have a target man. And even if Odegaard can play a give and go with Goikarez's back towards goal, just in front of the 18-yard box, that would work too, because Odegaard can do the flicks and tricks and dips and flare hicks, whatever you want to call him. You know, the kid's got flair. It's just that he just needs more up front, and now we have that. You know, but also this hopefully will get away of the ghoster guard. Hopefully he will play more physical. Hopefully he will play like we really need him to and run over that pitch over and over, chasing the balls, knocking the ball away, playing the ball laterally, playing it back if you have to, you know, doing a Cruyff turn and passing it out wide, help more on the pressing. So, you know, I'm kind of, not only for the signings, I want to see what this does to Odegaard. I want to see what these signings do to Saka. I want to see what they do to Rice. You know, Rice may have a fucking phenomenal season this year, that he actually has a striker he can move the ball from the left side to centrally.
Yep.
You know, there's so many gaps that I think Goikarez and even Zubamendi to a point fills. You know, instead of putting a circle peg in a square hole, we've actually found a square peg to put in a square hole. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out in spring training, for sure. Spring training, preseason.
Yeah.
Training. Sorry, thinking NFL. I guess
it's all right. I'm wearing a baseball cap.
Thinking of baseball or whatever. But yeah, no preseason. Right? No, let's get him to sign it now, bro, and let's get him ready for July.
Dude, I keep, and I know it's like 9:30 in the UK, by the way, right now. But I'm on Fabrizio Romano's page, just hitting F5.
Fire.
Just.
Comments are going crazy, I'm sure.
Give me somebody. Like, the last thing he did was the fact that he's fine with cutting some of his salary, which
he believes in the project. And from a player perspective, if you kind of put yourself in Goikarez's shoes in his state of mind, he doesn't follow Arsenal like we do, right? Like all of us do here in the chat, right? We follow this club religiously, right? It's our second family from our main family in some cases, right?
Right.
But from Goikarez, from the outside, he sees a team that's finished second 3 years in a row. He sees a team that beat Real Madrid 5-1. You know, he sees a team that's now obviously competing in the semifinals of the Champions League, regardless of what the interior fan base is of Arsenal and how we really, I think, you know, kind of want a different manager for some and some really kissing Arteta's ass. You know, we have that issue, but Goikarez isn't affected by any of that, right? Goikarez is looking at it from the outside in, while we're looking at it from the inside to out, right? He's looking from the outside in, thinking this is a good project for me. It brings me back to England. Obviously, he was with Coventry. You know, he knows the country, first of all. He knows the language, obviously. And he's built for pace and power, which is, you know, two key factors you have to be a Premier League player. Even if you're a right back or a center back, you got to be able to run faster than the striker in some cases, you know? So I think from his perspective, this is a very, very good move for him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just to piggyback off of you just for a second, I mean, he sees something that I think he knows that he is the answer to. This is the big, like, you don't have to be. Stevie Wonder could see that we were missing the quality up top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how close have we got? Not necessarily this season, but last season, the season before that, we were so close. And it was we were just missing that one thing, a 9. And we were crying about it for 3 years. We've been talking about it.
Right. Right. I think you're going mute. I think you're muted again. Yeah, I mean, we were ready to replace Jesus that January. If we remember correctly, right? Folks in the chat, we were ready to replace Jesus. And AJ, I see your questions. Do you believe Arteta will throw the cups in the bin again next season because he knows needs? I'm not so sure. And this is the good thing, AJ, about having a big squad, right? As much as we don't rate Jesus, we can actually play him. I know that sounds crazy, but we can actually play him in some of these lower cup games. Let's say we do get Bolton or somebody like that of extremely low level. We could play a Jesus up front. We could play a Havertz, give GYOKERES a rest. So I think that with just the expansion of having better players and getting rid of some of the deadwood, if we can get a couple more players in for Fabio Vieira, which I think he's done. I'm not sure.
That guy, keep him in Portugal.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he still? He's probably still on loan. I don't know if we've sold him.
He's still at Porto. He was playing in the Club World Cup.
Okay, but he's on loan, correct?
Yeah, he's on loan.
Yeah, we did not sell him back to Porto.
Right? No, we didn't.
And Conga's still here, and I'm not saying
just leave him there. In my opinion.
Yeah, right. We've got to get them out for sure. However, if you look at it, we got Norgard now, Zubamendi. So, maybe he will go after those cups, AJ. Maybe there will be a real intent and urgency to get the League Cup over the line. I'm hoping so, because I think you guys would agree, it is going to take more than just 11, 13, 14, 15 players to do what we got to do. We're looking at 70-some games this season, and you need a full quality squad. Again, going from Rodrigo to Madueke, that's just a real drop in quality, and that's why I think Eze is a good fit as well, because he can play as call on for Odegaard, or he can play on the left. But yeah, go ahead, TJ. It sounds like your audio's.
No, I'm back. Yeah, I'm sorry. I need to get a new mic. This thing keeps cutting out. It's pissing me off. Yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying. That rattled me. Surafel says Havertz is our FA Cup, EFL Cup striker. That's the only way he starts. Arteta should designate him to that role. I agree.
Sure.
And we need to keep GYOKERES on the bench, because you're going to probably need him to come on in the 75th minute to come on and win us a game in round 5 of the FA Cup or some shit like that. We need to go far in these competitions this season.
Yeah.
Too. Let's be real. We need to, and look, we made a run at the Carabao Cup and just ran into a buzzsaw that was Newcastle. Nobody but Newcastle was winning that competition. Let's be real. And that's not me. Yeah, and that's not me making excuses. We should have played better. We're just terrible against Newcastle.
We had no answer for Isak that day.
Yeah. And the only time that we beat Newcastle is when it really doesn't matter. See the game, the last home game last season. Yeah.
Was it 1-0 we won?
1-0 Declan Rice.
1-0. That's right.
Yep. So
I forgot about that. I stopped watching some of the league games off and on.
Dude, who could blame you?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
What's the point? The Liverpool was already lifting the trophy and then partying in Ibiza while we were still playing 3 games. We had 3 games left to go.
They were definitely on the beach.
Dude, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's the only way he starts. Arteta should designate him to that role. The problem is, Surafel, is I don't trust Arteta to do that. That's the problem.
Right.
I think that he, people were saying in the chat earlier, they could play him on the left. Shit. You could see MLS, God forbid MLS goes down with an injury. I could see him playing Havertz at that left back role. I could see it happening. He did it for Germany. He could play it. Oh my God, look who joined us. Woo!
Breaking the last 20 minutes of the show. What a guy.
He's coming in. We're buzzing, Connor. We're buzzing, man. We got Victor GYOKERES. We are this close to a here we go. And when you get that here we go, you're going to see a smoke pillar from all the way across the ocean coming up from Kansas City. I am partying, man. This is what we've needed. This is what we needed for 3 years, bro. We haven't had a striker since Aubameyang, and here we're at. But what are your, first of all, hope you're well. Second of all, tell us your thoughts on all this. This is
yeah, I'm good, guys. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. Yeah, I've been working, man. It's just making that the editing bread. But I hope yourself, TJ, and Dow are well. The OGs, my brothers. Always love obviously coming on here. It's like the first home, isn't it? Of my coming onto these YouTube shows. But yeah, listen, I'm buzzing. No Sesko, I am so happy. This is the guy we wanted. And this, I mean, I'm seeing RB Leipzig asking for 100 million for this guy. I'm thinking, what?
And he wants a release clause.
Or 100 million. I'm thinking, you're
kid's got the ball pass for a release clause too.
Nah. So, boys, I'm buzzing. Really, honestly, truly. That Victor Gyökeres #9 shirt. As soon as he signs, I'm ordering that ASAP. That is the first thing.
Connor, let us ask you a quick question. So how does the shirt, so we know Jesus has the 9. How does the shirt transfer work?
9. Oh, damn it.
Well, that's a question. Does Arteta appoint those numbers, or is that done by the board, or how does the numbers work? Like, can you really get a number taken from you?
Unless I think it only would work unless the player decides to give it up. I think that's the only way they can, unless obviously, I mean, if it's sad to say, but if Jesus wasn't injured, he probably would be sold this summer. But obviously, because he's out, we have to hold on to him until he's fit again. But I think it is a case now of if the player gave it up, they'd give it to him. But if not, give him the number 99 or something. I don't know. Go something crazy with that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, but I'm so happy, and I can't wait, and I'll confidently say this, I can't wait for him to prove all the haters wrong. That he won't kill it in the Premier League. I generally think he will. I don't think he's going to score 50 goals. I just don't think that's realistic. No. I do think he will bag 20 plus. I think he will bag 20 plus next season. And this is the answer we've been looking for. And dare I say, this is all BERTA. I think Arteta really didn't want Sesko. And I think BERTA said, Mikel, look at it. A, B, 100 goals in 2 seasons.
Right, data.
30 goals
look at the factual data.
So I think, a lot of people were obviously quite skeptical when BERTA first came in. And dare I say, we were maybe a little bit all impatient. I think we said, where are the deals? Come on, let's get them done. But, I guess they were right. Wait till July, and July will provide. And we're now 6 days into it. And we're on the verge of, I guess Norgard will be announced soon, and then now we've had the Zubimendi news today. We've had Eze news. I think, to put a doubter, I do think Madueke will be the Rodrigo, personally.
Oh, God.
It's sad to say, but I just can't see us buying 2. But if we got Eze, I think that would make up for it for me, because he could possibly play on that left a little bit. But in terms of Gyökeres, fellas, I remember we were sat here like a month ago on American Idiots talking about Sesko and how he was literally on the verge of possibly joining. We were all just devastated. And it's just it is crazy how maybe sometimes you do need to take a step back in football and just hold on. And the fact that, Gyökeres is already liking pictures of him getting the move to Arsenal on Instagram. He's taken Sporting out of his bio and stuff. It's ready, man. I'm ready for this move.
Yeah.
I am so happy. And this guy will tear it up. This will be my new fit. Him, Rice, Saka. That would be my 3 favorite players, man. I'm telling you.
So Connor, it's been a while. I got lots of questions. I got questions to ask you.
Yeah, hit me, bro.
So with this being said, with GYOKERES up front, and we know Odegaard is always moving to the right. He's always going to the right with Saka, right?
Yeah.
Do you think this will actually give more credence to Odegaard to just say fuck it and just go central more? Just go right at him directly. Play a 1-2 with GYOKERES and take the shot. Right?
I hope this season Odegaard's confidence goes up now. I think we all do. I am quite sick of this whole right-hand side. Let me give it to Saka and let me rely on Saka. It's like, come on, bro. You're the captain now. You've been back for a while. You had an injury, so fingers crossed he doesn't get an injury at the start of the season. You've got the quality and you've got the confidence. Drive forward, and we've seen him do it a couple of times, but it's very rare. And he always loves to play the safe pass. But I think what GYOKERES does is it also gives him someone to work with. As we've seen when he goes with Havertz and Jesus, they are a false 9 type striker. They like to go back deep, and he sort of works in sync with Odegaard. They're sort of next to each other. I like to think that Arteta isn't going to play GYOKERES as a false 9. He's actually going to play him as an out-and-out number 9, which is what we're going to hopefully buy him for. And hopefully he can work well with Odegaard and get Odegaard to make more forward runs instead of having Havertz go behind him and sort of Odegaard trying to make runs for himself, but obviously he doesn't have the confidence to do it. So hopefully, Dow, And I was worried about this with Sesko. If we were to sign Sesko, as I've seen in many videos and clips, he likes to play a false nine role. Gyökeres isn't that at all, and I don't think you can change that. So I like to think that as soon as he comes in, Odegaard will have to play a more central role and go straight through. None of this left and right. You're going to have to go straight through. And I agree with you. I think he will become that, and hopefully he won't have to rely on this whole right-hand side Saka. Because, I mean, to be fair, Saka was our main goal-scoring outlet, and creative. Having Gyökeres doesn't make us rely on Bukayo Saka anymore, and I think that's fantastic news. Yeah. And if we were to get Rodrigo, that triples it.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah.
I think it improves us massively.
Yeah. Agree. Because there were some comments. I think TKA made one too that we're not. Get your own comments on this, Connor. Your thoughts, and you too, TJ. That TKA was saying that it's we need this Eze or Rodrigo on the left because it'll help divert Odegaard again from just the right side, and it'll give more options for Odegaard on the left, which I agree too. But I really agree that. And do you guys agree with that? And number two, like you said, I really want to see what GYOKERES can do in the 18-yard box with his back to the goal. I want to really see if he can really trap a ball, look for an outlet, pass the ball, and then move. Right, kind of like a pick and roll in basketball. The guy rolls out, right, and you make yourself available. So I know that's kind of a two-part question. So I'm curious, if we get that as a player on the left, do you guys think Odegaard will now go more to the left?
I'll let Connor go.
I think it could work. I mean, especially if we were to get Eze and he would be a winger, I think he would utilize a lot more in the midfield. And also having him as an option on the wing, preferably Eze because he is also a 10. It allows us to be more defensive with Declan Rice and Zubimendi. If that's going to be the midfield three we're going to play with, possibly if we were to play Eze on the left. That gives Odegaard and Eze space to go forward. Somewhat, I'm trying to think of what formation it could possibly be. Possibly a 4-2-2. It'd be a bit weird probably trying to play Saka up front with Gyökeres or however you'd like to mix it up. But having Eze as a winger would bring him more into a 10, sort of paired with Odegaard, and then you have the two CDMs in the back, if that kind of makes sense. Right. I think that would work, and it would also work with Odegaard going left and right. He wouldn't just have to go to the right-hand side.
He could also facilitate with
Eze, on the left.
Right.
And Eze isn't your type of Martinelli winger who just likes to bomb forward. He's not a winger. He can play on the wing, but he is more central. So you could rely on an extra pass. You don't have to worry about playing a long ball over to the left because that's where your left winger and Martinelli or Trossard is. You've got a more central player who you can play another short pass to. Make more options creatively. So I think that's why I say if we were to get one or the other of Eze or Rodrigo, that's why I'm a bit stumped about this whole Madueke deal because personally, I mean, 40 million for a winger.
Put it into the Rodrigo pot.
That's what I mean. This guy's not worth 40 M's. You're taking the absolute
This screams Arteta, I want to show that I can make this player great.
And that was my other question too. I want to let TJ land. So my other question too, sorry TJ, is that do you think Arteta's taking over domestic, local UK signings and Berta's doing international signings? That's kind of looking like what it is.
Then again, he did sign Kepa. So
right. And
I can't believe we didn't bring out Kepa. Sorry, completely forgot.
Well, besides Zubimendi, that was somebody we've been linked to for months now. Yeah. So what do you guys? So I'm wondering if Berta is our international, transfer guy that looks at all countries, maybe even South America and Central America.
I probably would have to look into that. Who's been our better signings in terms of international or from English?
I don't think Berta knows the fuck who Madueke is, but Arteta does. Right? That gets to the point.
I don't get the whole hype. Why we've all of a sudden gone in for this guy, because especially for the price tag as well that Chelsea are asking for. Again, there has to be a petition to ban us from buying from Chelsea, like real.
I think that they've seen the development of Callum Hudson-Odoi at Forest, and I think that they're probably cashing in on that, thinking because Madueke's a very, very similar player, right?
Yes, it's true.
But I get the ump, like I was saying earlier, Connor, before you joined, I get the ump is we talk Rodrigo, then we go Esse, and then we drop down to Madueke. So there's a complete disconnect of where we're at with the left wing.
It does worry me that will be our winger. and then we'll keep Martinelli, obviously, whether Trossard decides to stay as well. I think, do you know what? Our numbers will be very high next season, which I do appreciate, and I like that we're facilitating, especially in the attack. I do appreciate that. And obviously the defense as well, whether we end up getting that Hato fella or whatever we're looking to do.
Yeah,
in the
Hato.
I want him too.
You know,
I would love him.
By the way, he'd be a good signing. Sorry, not Eze. Madueke stumped me, Dow TJ. I don't get it. I mean, I get he's quick. I mean, in terms of ball technique, he doesn't really offer much. His dribbling ain't all that. You know, at PSV, he wasn't that bad. He was quite a bit of a star boy wonder kid at PSV when he was there. But I don't get this one. And for 40 million, this might be one that comes back to bite us on the back, you know. But no doubt, I think your point on the whole international thing and Arteta looking towards the more English side. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you were right on that. I think Arteta's probably got a better eye, maybe, could you say, for more Premier League talent than possibly international. But we don't know what happens in the back door. But do you know what? At the end of the day, if we get in GYOKERES, you know, I'm all right with Zubimendi. Unfortunately, sorry TK, I'm on the bandwagon of I don't actually think Norgard's that bad of a signing. You know, Brentford's one of my locals. I do think he is actually really solid when he's been getting him promoted.
Too.
I think he's a solid DM. Again, he's not going to be a starter, but I think he's good. But you know, if we sign, we've got Kepa, Zubimendi, Norgard, GYOKERES, Madueke, you know, and possibly another attacker. That's 6 signings, and if you go for Hater, that's 7. You know, I think, and you know, this is July, by the way. We've never experienced this before. You know, we've had to wait until August 30th. So you know,
right. I mean, besides the Rice deal,
besides Rice and Kai Havertz,
this is such a nice breath. I mean, I never expected for us to have a Zubimendi announcement today, and literally 20 minutes later for us to get GYOKERES news. You know, it's such a nice breath of fresh air, guys. Really. So, yeah, I'm all for GYOKERES. I mean, GYOKERES is my number one priority to get done at the moment. Let's get him done. If we can get him done before the Milan game for pre-season, I'll be beyond happy, and I'll applaud Berta and Arteta, whoever got that deal done.
I think he signs it this week.
You know, so I think we need to. I mean, the personal terms are agreed. It's just a case of getting the fee done. And 80 million. I'm sorry, the fact that we're going to get that done and possibly miss out on Sesko, who was 100. I mean, oh my god, I will take my hat off and buy as much as I possibly can.
GYOKERES was 55 million with around 8 to 10 add-ons.
There you go. And he's willing to sacrifice 2 million of his wages.
Yeah, and he turned down 2 Saudi clubs with fucking generational money.
So I will give my hat off to both Arteta and Berta, because I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know who's really gone in for it, you know, but that's the player I wanted, and that's the player I'm very happy with going with. So
yeah, and just to tag on to that, I mean, I just think it creates so much space, Connor, for us in the final third. Just the fact that you're going to have more to worry about centrally and on the left. Like, then this is why I think we have to get an Eze, we have to get a Rodrigo, or not a Madueke. Like, I'm not trying to see another speed merchant that we're trying to mold into a big player. Like, we're not that club right now. That shouldn't be our objective. We need ready-made players to come in and just slide into this system and make a difference. Like, we need to be more dynamic on the left side of the pitch so we can free up Odegaard to do more. Like, Odegaard has space, he can cook. Saka not getting freaking double teamed, triple teamed half the time, he might be able to do some more. Like, and here's the thing, is it's like, this unlocks a Bukayo Saka that we all know exists.
Bring him up more.
Yeah.
Like, be more like TK was saying, there's more of a threat on the left.
Yeah. And as long as we start taking some of the pressure off of Odegaard and Saka to do it all themselves, I think we just start cooking. Like, we really do. And if we don't cook with these players, then it's on Arteta. Like, these players are so good. They are in their prime. If you can't win with Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard in your midfield,
Kai Havertz,
Bukayo Saka, and you have the best, and you arguably have the best defensive line in the Premier League. Like, if you can't win with this squad, bro, like, you gotta go.
You've got to walk.
You've got to go.
Yeah.
Like,
I think even all the Arteta-ins can appreciate that. I mean, I don't think you can even qualify 2 points finishing behind first with no trophies. So you can't even like gratify that because we've been there, we've done that with a worse squad, with no striker. So you can't with the player that you've brought in, you cannot sit here and say there's no silverware coming the next season. And if there is, there will be absolute uproar. So
if we don't win anything this season, it's going to be
heads will roll.
Heads will roll.
The best part is that if we get this GYOKERES obviously over the line, which looks like it, Man United is the first game of the season. Oh my god, bro! If he scores on that first game and we win it,
you will.
Bro, this is going to be. I'm be doing this all season. Is it over the nose? Does he do over the nose?
Over the nose.
Just like over the nose. I'll be doing this all season, man. All season. So we've been waiting for a striker for so long, man. And the fact that it's a striker that's actually really, really good. The excitement for Aubameyang was how I'm feeling now when we got him. Proper world-class striker at the time, quick, fast. This guy's an absolute brute. I don't care what people say about the whole he doesn't win headers compared to Sesko. I just want him to score goals on his left and right foot, which is really good. And he scored.
That's rival cope. I'm convinced that's rival cope.
And again, I don't have a problem with Sesko. I just don't think he's ready. We're buying a guy who's 27, scores goals like he's eating them for breakfast. It's just you can't complain.
5-year contract.
Yeah, 5-year contract.
He can still play at 30.
He'll be here till he's 31, hopefully 32. He'll in his prime years. Very, 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 very happy. Very happy.
Yep.
So
buzzing. Big up AJ. We'll answer this question and then we gotta wrap it up because I gotta get over to Sarcasm City. Gents, can we talk about Ethan only having 1 year left on his deal? I don't think Ethan goes to Chelsea. I've said this before, and those links were brutal to read. And I want to get Connor's boots on the ground over there. He can tell us what he thinks, but I think it was never serious. I don't think that he's leaving the club. I think he will eventually sign an extension, but it won't be as long-term as we would like. I think that the fact that he changed his number from what was it? I forget what it used to be. Like 30. It's like 53 to 22.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he's in all of the merch stuff. He's in all of the media. I really don't think he's going anywhere. But in order for that long-term deal to get facilitated, he's going to need guaranteed minutes.
Yeah.
And he's shown that he's deserving of it. I mean, why don't you sub him in the 60th, 70th minute for Odegaard or Saka? He can go in there and do a job. Like, it's not that hard. Like, satisfy what this guy does and where he can come in. I mean, he came in and he was like a breath of fresh air when Odegaard and Saka were injured last season. So he can cook again. And if we let him go, we're idiots. But Connor, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't believe it either, TJ. Same as you. I don't believe these links. I think it's all a lot of tish tosh. I mean, well, there could be talks. I mean, he literally does have 1 year, so Chelsea are allowed to talk to him. It's like a free deal. It's not a fake thing they can't do. They can do that. I like to think after the performances he's shown that Arsenal wouldn't be that stupid to let him go like that. Amari Hutchinson, I get. We didn't see a lot of him. Chido Obi to United. I wanted to keep him, but we didn't see a lot of him obviously in the first team, so we couldn't really tell.
Aiden Heaven.
Yeah, Aiden Heaven as well, who could be very good, but again, we didn't see a lot of him in the first team. 1 year he's played in the first team. We've seen how good he is. If Arteta and the club are happy to let him go on a free, let alone an actual paid deal, I'm very concerned about that. Minus all the good business we're doing at the moment, you can't let him go for that. But I have a funny feeling this will be locked down very quickly. He's 18, he's still fresh, got many more years. And I like to think the club's going to get this sorted, and I like to think BERTA will get this sorted as well. You can't let a talent like that just go for free like that, especially to Chelsea.
And exactly. If he wants playing time, he's just joining a small country.
And he knows if he goes to Chelsea, he'll just be loaned out. So it's not like he's going to get minutes at Chelsea either. And Arsenal at the moment, I mean, I know if we sign Madueke, it might be a bit tricky, but I think unless we sign him on a deal and we send him out on loan next season, I don't think I'd actually be too disappointed with that. But for me personally, if he does stay next season and he is here, I mean, again, he's got the number 22 shirt, so that's got to mean he's got to be in the first squad next season. They wouldn't just change his shirt for no reason. And I agree with TJ. He has to get minutes next season. We've seen, and Saka doesn't have to play every minute, week in, week out, for games that he doesn't have to play. We've got assets here, and if you're buying someone like Madueke, you know that we do have assets that you want to use to facilitate away from Saka. So let's get him some minutes next season. He's a kid that's got so much talent. If we're seeing that Miles Lewis-Skelly can cook it up in a couple months, pretty sure Wanyeri can do it too. It's a shame Harvey Elliott's taken all of his spotlight in the under-21s England tournament because, deservedly so, he was cooking, but he took his right-wing spot, obviously, for the Euros that they just won, the England 21s. But no, we know how much talent he's got, and we've got to keep him. It's as simple as that. And I think Arsenal would be beyond stupid to let him go to Chelsea as well as on a free. I don't believe it though, personally. I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. And big up Serafelli says RVP left after all the merch photo shoots. Yeah,
true.
United. Yeah, that's true. But United and United and Chelsea and where they were at in their respective leagues, I think it's a little bit different.
Is that AJ's an R AJ, by the way? Have you just changed his name? Is that our normal AJ?
Yeah, that's normal AJ. That's
big up
AJ.
AJ. I didn't realize you changed your stuff, bro. Big up to you, bro. Hope you're well, man.
Yeah.
I would buy. Yeah, it's up to you or go get Hotto. Right now.
Go get it.
We're still on that Kivior Real Madrid hype train, guys.
He
was good, man. He was good.
I know, but speaking of that, we need to play like that at all levels now. Like that's the level we need to be week in and week out, regardless if it's Burnley or Man City or Liverpool, Aston Villa. It's just we know we can do it. I don't know, with the Wanyeri thing, I thought it was linked more to the Madueke deal that we were going to get Madueke and cash for.
Not swap.
Yeah, no. But I think I agree with Connor too. Is that we're going to play a lot of games this season, right? We're going to have 65, 70, 72 games this season. So it's important that we keep a good bench. We don't want the quality drop, right? I'm at the point now where I'd rather have quality than quantity, right? Because we still have Fabio Vieira on the books. We still have Lukonga on the books. So there's some money to be made up there if we can ditch those two, get a few quid in the bank, and go make the Rodrigo move. That's the move. And hell, go get Eze too. Because Odegaard can't do it. But see, if we get Eze, here's what I'm afraid, is that he's going to take Waneri's spot as well. Right?
Yeah.
Because
Eze can't
operate as the 10. Yeah. I mean, it's a big possibility because I think Eze is a better player at this time than Waneri. Obviously, he's about 3 or 4 years older too. So I don't know. It's a kind of like Connor was saying, it's kind of a good problem to have with the large squad. There is a lot of games. I mean, we forget how many rounds after rounds there are of the Champions League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Prem games, the midweek Prem games, the Wednesday games, and we go and play again on Sunday, and then we go play a game on Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, right? I mean, it's going to be nonstop. And so, if we can get rid of Vieira, Lukonga, and get one more midfielder in like Quentin Timber, and get a and get a Rodrigo. I think that's a fucking.
If we get Rodrigo, it's over. Like, we get Gyökeres and Rodrigo, it's fucking over.
That's a 10 out of 10 window. Any club would take those players instantaneously. Madrid would, Barcelona would. Barcelona wanted Gyökeres, right? And so
that makes our attack, dare I say, the best in the league.
Lethal.
I think it's between us and Man City. Yeah.
Yeah, because even with Liverpool, great team, great football, but Mohamed Salah, but then at the moment they're rocking Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz, who doesn't even look like he's going to stay there. So that's Cody Gakpo, So at the moment, I mean, I know they've got Florian Wirtz now as well, but that's more of a midfield thing. Right. That puts us, in my opinion, up there with one of the best attacks. I mean, even with Man City, I know obviously Haaland. Who am I missing?
Mamouche on the left, Savinho on the right.
Savinho's, actually, but I think that puts us up there anyway, 100%.
Saka's better than Savinho.
100%. And with the options on the left, I mean, Phil Foden, Doku. I think instantly Rodrigo's better than those. So even with Eze, listen, let's get this all done, and I think with the way we're moving, we could have this all done before the end of July, like the main bits done, which is crucial. I want all this done before the start of the season. And then if you have to get a couple little backups during the beginning of the season for those last couple of August weeks, then go for it. But this is how I've wanted this club to be run since I've started watching them. This is how we should have been running. We shouldn't have been waiting for last-minute PR deals or waiting for the last minute for the player to be cheap, so then we end up getting Raheem Sterling because we can't get our main boy, you know. So, and there, you can't look at this and say change the technical director. We've all of a sudden become
not doing anything
reasonable and started moving like an actual club, and getting stuff done. So yeah.
No, I was with our man Tony Claude 2 weeks ago for a fun hour show. And we were talking about Kepa, and it's a great signing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Tony, that's not the urgency.
No.
I was preaching urgency 2 weeks ago. I was preaching it last week. I was in Lee Gunner's chat. Urgency. And, and Tony's like, the signings will come. Well, yeah, Tony, the stars have aligned, but I still think that we saw ourselves already behind Liverpool and City. And that already had me enraged, my blood boiling, because they're making big moves and we're signing fucking Kepa. And I thought, here we go again, another transfer window when we get these mid signings, blah blah blah, and then what comes out again? Fucking Norgard. Now I'm just like an explosive nuclear level, right? And so I was pissed at Tony. Not pissed at Tony. Take that back. Shout out Tony Claude. I was pissed on his show. Because we were going back and forth about, well, Kepa's a good signing because we don't have some for David Raya. Like, we have 4 fucking goalkeepers. Like, we bought 5 keepers in 4 windows. Tony, my pal, I still say this to you. So we should have been GYOKERES. The moment Liverpool signed fucking Verts, we should have had GYOKERES sign the thing. And that's the urgency I was talking about. But hey, 5 days, 6 days in the window, we got the job done on 2 top players. I think Zubamendi will be a very good addition.
I agree. I think
it's a great deal. Yeah, I'm not against Norgard either, Surfile, but the way we go about it
at the time,
first, and we wait and do this whole dramatic bullshit, and we finally get the ones that we're really linked to. It's like, okay, we spent 16 mil. That's fantastic, but we could have spent that 16 mil on August 31st. We did not have to spend that 16 mil in the 1st of July or the end of June. And that's my biggest point. So there, I think,
do you know what, personally, sorry, I know you want to bounce. I think these deals, these deals could be done so much quicker.
Yeah.
If we just did a post instead of taking 3 days to film a video like we did for Zubamendi today. Like, this whole, I mean, I get the whole, you want to really bolster it up into a big sign, but it's like, what happened to a quick photo shoot? Literally, this was like a thing like 6 years ago. I remember when we were signing players 6 years ago. Quick photo shoot, interview, bang, get them out, done. You don't have to worry about this whole
now it's
doing a video of a drama and the whole contempt of the midfield. It's like bro, I guarantee
carrying the pen from Highbury.
Real Madrid that started that.
I get social media has obviously become a lot bigger than what it was 10 years ago, 6 years, even 6 years ago, 5 years ago. But it's like, bro. I guarantee that Zubamendi thing took 3 days. I mean, I know we obviously took a break for obviously the tragic news that happened the other day, but besides that Zubamendi thing was done ages ago, and I guarantee they filmed that like 2 weeks ago, and like we're still out here, waiting. But at least it's done now. At least it's done, and I guarantee you that GYOKERES video will take about a week. I bet he'll be already at the club, but it will take a week for him to actually be filmed.
And then they're gonna have to buy the rights to Batman so they can cut Bane in there. They're gonna. This will be an insane signing, and I'm like I said, we're all for it. We're all over the moon. But I'll pass on Madueke though.
I want to give you guys a quick stat before we go. So they're saying that they always say Darwin Núñez Portuguese league bullshit. Bro, the season before last, he hit the post 34 times. They would have won the league if he would have bagged half of those.
Yeah. And there's people comparing him to João Felix.
Like 34 times on the woodwork, bro.
But, do you know what? I see insane. Yeah, it is. I'm seeing. Do you know what? Because I can't be asked to call out names and stuff. But so many people, like not so many. But no. I've seen a couple. I'm not saying so many. I've seen a couple Arsenal fans. really playing down on this deal like it is the worst thing we could do by not getting Cecil. You know, like it's like, you know, I've been seeing
bullshit, bro.
I've seen quotes. Havertz will outscore him next season, which I find which I find interesting.
Can't even run onto a through
you know,
ball.
and it's just stuff like this, and it's like, and I hope that the people who didn't want him, I get there's people that didn't want Sesko, that wanted Sesko, didn't want GYOKERES. There's people that want, like us, that want GYOKERES and not Sesko. If you didn't want GYOKERES, please do us a favour and just support him anyway. If Sesko was to be the player to come here, would I be happy? No. But I wouldn't be out here saying stuff like that and praying on his downfall and stuff. You know, let this guy come in, let him do the business he needs to do, get the goals, and it's as simple as that. And get behind him and you know, support him as much as we can. Let's not beat around the bush and make out that because he doesn't have headed goals, he's all of a sudden not a good. I just don't get how people can look at the
it's this fan base.
Darwin Núñez and João Felix.
Yeah. Like, it's this fan base not being able to get out of its own way.
Come on, guys.
Like,
come on.
Like we're always so miserable as a fan base. Like we have to find something wrong with something, and it's just like, you know, like. If you're trying to convince yourself that Sesko is a better striker than GYOKERES because you have some sort of agenda to back Mikel Arteta, which I think that's what it is, like, miss me with that shit. Like, I'm not hearing it. Miss me with it. Because Sesko wasn't even getting regular starting time at Leipzig, but I'm supposed to be like, oh, yeah, he's going to be the guy that's going to cook in the Prem. Yeah, give me a break, bro. Just out of here. And if I was recruiting for an NBA team, fuck yeah, get him in. But I'm not.
Right. We need a new power forward, Benjamin Sesko, Portland Trail Blazers.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Benjamin Sesko to the Denver Nuggets. Bamba. Here we go. Like, I don't care about any of this shit, dude. Like, all of it is
and I think the people, hopefully, the people that wanted Sesko and are a bit disappointed with the GYOKERES news, I think you will be very surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised. I know Liverpool have strengthened. I know Man City have also strengthened as well in the beginning of the window. This signing makes me excited for a possible league title win next season. This is what we should have done last season. But this kind of signing, with the credibility he has and the stats he has, that shows me with the midfield, the defence, why we can't now go ahead and win this league next season. If we don't,
FA Cup at a minimum.
We know who it's. Oh yeah, any trophy anyway. Any trophy.
We got to be competing on
FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Do the cup double at least. You know, you've got to be doing that with this squad. 150%. Especially if Jesus comes back from injury, that gives you 3 striker options. 4 if you want to put Mikel Marino up there for a laugh. Why not? You know.
Connor's right. And here's the thing, guys. It may come to that because we know we've had devastating injuries the last couple seasons. Right, and that's why I'm saying it's going to take more. Well, it's going to take more than a village, right, TJ? We know that term, right? It's going to take more than a village. You know, we may see Moreno up there if GYOKERES gets crocked for 2 weeks and Havertz is crocked, and of course Jesus is in a wheelchair. We will see Moreno up there, right? But we know, I know, but I'm just saying this. That's a horrible thing to say, but the thing is, my point is, we need everybody. We need everybody. We need we need a team of 22. We really do. 100%. We need a squad of 22 to get this stuff over the line, especially if we're looking at, you know, 2 domestic cups and getting the league. I don't think we're quite there for Champions League. I think that's maybe hopefully next season.
I just don't think last season. You never know.
Yeah, but I just striker. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, guys, sorry to cut it off, but I got to bounce. I got to get over and talk some shit to that absolute criminal flawless. We are going to be redirecting, by the way, over to Sarcasm City TV. So go over there. TJ Warren TV raid.
Ask him about his transfer window.
Ask Flawless how his transfer window is going.
How long is it taking? Is that another 2 weeks, 4 weeks away? How long is that taking? You know.
Well, big up everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Big up Connor for joining. Big up my guy Dal. Keep on the lookout for me and Dal are liable to go live in the middle of the night, shooting up some bots in Warzone, baby. But anyway, all right, guys. This has been episode 106 of American Idiots. We will see you in a bit. Later.
You're not God. You don't have the answers. You don't have the answers, Connor. You don't have the answers. Let's just say that you don't have the answers.